If you've been staying updated with our content, then I'm sure the name Geeta rings a bell. She is the screenplay writer for the film Secrets in the Rupununi. And today we'll be chatting with her and diving into the writing process of this unique film that surrounds the theme of love, betrayal, and murder. Are you excited? I know I am, so let's go. Okay guys, we're here with Geeta. Geeta, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Daniela. How are you?
I'm actually really excited. Today we're going to be talking about Secrets in the Rupununi, and I know that you would have written the script for this film. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Secrets in the Rupununi is a very exciting story, and it's very dear to my heart. And I can't wait to see it on the big screen. And I'm pretty sure that everybody who heard about it, they are very excited and waiting on it to happen.
Okay, so when I first heard about this project, heard about this film, I got really excited. And I remember thinking, Secrets in the Rupununi, is this something that, you know, will entail actual secrets in the Rupununi as it relates to the myths, you know, the creatures and stuff like that? But then when I got the proposal for the movie and I saw that it surrounded a lot of different themes, I found it really interesting. So can you talk to us a little bit about what inspired the themes that surrounded this movie?
Everyday living. We can relate to everything that happened in the movie. It's stories we see every day, and it unfolded in a movie in such a way that it captivates.
How long did it take? How long did the writing process take for this?
It took about 2 years. Yeah.
Why so long? Was it a matter of, oh, I should include this, exclude this, I should change the theme? What exactly, made it took that time?
Whenever you finish a script or a book, a novel, whatever, you may be satisfied, but there is always something you could go back into that book or to go back into that story and change and adjust. Every time you go back, there is something you will change.
I totally agree. I think as creatives and being a writer myself, not exactly for big movies and scripting and stuff, but being a writer for poetry, what I can say is that the more you go back to something, the more it changes. So it's better for you to just say, okay, I like this the way it is, and then leave it as that. Because I look back at pieces from 2 years ago and I still change it. Because writing and creativity, you evolve with it. So the more you learn, the more you grow, the more, you see things differently. So I understand that process. But what really is exciting for me is taking this film or reading something that involves the Rupununi, being a young woman of indigenous descent and having roots all the way in the Rupununi. That's really exciting for me, knowing that the communities and the region is being highlighted. So what exactly inspired that, and what took you and your writing all the way in the Rupununi?
So I have always heard stories of the Rupununi, and I'm always excited whenever I hear stories. Stories that are set in the Rupununi. I read a lot of stories, local stories and all of that. And nature is one of the things that stand out to me because I'm a nature lover. And setting the story in the Rupununi came naturally. So, my creativity went in a way that, what if we set a story in the Rupununi in such a way that it doesn't focus on the myths and legends of the Rupununi, but tells a story of the people in the Rupununi? Because you're excited. Me coming from a small community also, I always wanted to see the bigger picture. So I related to the Rupununi. The youths in the Rupununi, they want to come out to see a brighter life, a bigger life, and whatever. But coming out and seeing this life and being in it for a while, and you satisfy your mind that, okay, I've had enough, and now it's time to go back to roots. And that is how the idea came about.
I think what's very interesting and what I really love about the script is that I think it highlights the way of life in the Rupununi, in a village, in a faraway land, a faraway region. And I think as it relates to Guyana as a whole, being able to highlight what we would call one of the most treasured tourism products, one of the most treasured tourism products, that being able to highlight that, showcase that, and also dive into the lives of our indigenous people, that's really, really interesting for me, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, I was really excited to dive into the script as well. But what else can you tell us about the characters of Secrets in the Rupununi?
So I want to step back to the lives of the indigenous people. It's a fascinating life, and it is living off the land, and that by itself is a fascination to me, and especially to the indigenous foods. I love the indigenous foods, and I'm excited about that. But to relate to the characters, one of the main character in the story, actually, his dream was to always reach for higher. He had dreams to become this big person, accomplish big. So that is when he decided to venture out of the Rupununi to discover, to fulfill his dream, more or less. But then he got fed up with it when he realized the rat race, and it is not what he's accustomed to. He wanted the peace and quiet once again, and he decided to go back to the peace and quiet. That's when the story
really unfolds. Yeah, that's where everything starts to happen.
Because when you leave one way of life and you see another, you live another one for a while, there's a transition in between you. You're not the same person that you're going back there. Your horizon has widened, and you're not going back to the same life. Right. Things change.
And then I think also, like, coping with those changes, you can end up getting into unhealthy habits and toxic ways of dealing with that transitioning.
Like you rightfully said, in the transitioning and the changes, you pick up habits that you never had before, and then you take it back with you. So
when writing this script, of course you would have came up with all the characters and stuff like that. Who would you say is your favorite character, or which character would you say gives us that interest when it comes to the movie?
Well, there are 5 main characters that stand out in this movie, but one of them that's my heart, it's very close. She's very close to my heart. Is a migrant girl who came to our land, and her story is very exciting, from small to grown up. She stands as a strong woman, standing for herself and accomplishing what she set out to do. I think that is one of the characters that we could talk about. But we have others that would enlighten you the same way, and you could relate to them in the same way. So, and it adds to the script.
So,
it brings the script to life.
right. So I understand that we're not trying to dive very deep into the script. However, how would you describe the script to someone who, they're viewing us and they're looking for reasons to, okay, watch this movie. Why would I watch it? How would you describe the script to them?
But what is amazing about this script, Secrets in the Rupununni, is that it's one of a kind. This is the first time a script like this will be produced in Guyana. It tells the story that it tells reaches not just Guyanese, not just Caribbean, but it reaches globally. So it is something very exciting to look forward to. And look at it, it's a one of a kind movie.
Unique. Definitely. So Geeta, I know we've been chatting for a while, and I know that as production begins, we're going to be catching up with you more. We're going to be diving more into the movie itself, into the characters, and giving people some teasers and stuff like that. But for right now, this is going to be the end of our little chit chat until we meet again. So you can say hi and bye to our viewers. And yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone. I hope you look forward to the other one, the other interview, which will be more exciting. I'll be talking about another project.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, when you think production, when you think movie here in Guyana, think Kalingo. My name is Daniela Arajo. Bye for now.